and thanks for joining us on TVC News at 7. I am Aboseti Adeniwadireme. We are staying with development at the National Assembly, where the Senate has confirmed former Chief of Defense Staff Christopher Musa as Minister of Defense. Before his confirmation, the former CDS responded to questions from lawmakers about the country's security. Lawmakers earlier objected to attempts to conclude the screening of the retired general and allow him to take a bow. The former CDS promised to probe the withdrawal of troops before the attack on the government comprehensive girls secondary school Maga in Kebbi State.
Don't take it that we are not happy. We are all happy. We applaud, Mr. President, for your nomination. We have a lot of hope in you based on your track record. But a few questions are begging for answers. The Senate has just set up a committee to find out from the cry of the governor of Kebbi, who gave the order for the soldiers who had prior information that kidnappers were coming to the school. Is it St. Mary's School or where?
So starting with the issues of General Uba, very unfortunate for a brigade commander to be captured and shown the way they did. It's really unfortunate and it's very painful. I want to assure Nigerians that we will not stand by and see terrorists have the capacity to do such. We're going to go after them fully, working together with all the security agencies and all the NDAs that I've said. No indolence, no act of cowardice will be entertained. We're going to make sure that we follow them critically to see what they are doing from the commanders down to the troops. They must be professional.
Is it the view of the Senate that this nominee be allowed to take a bow and leave? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. May now take a bow.
Now, the leadership of Nigeria's defense establishment is transitioning to a new phase. President Bola Tinubu yesterday nominated the former Chief of Defense Staff as the Minister of Defense, following the resignation of Muhammad Badar Abubakar. Sifan Isien chronicles his career, achievements, and what this appointment signals for Nigeria's defense policy.
And I do not want to hear that I was not giving any command. As long as you are deployed, your task is to secure your community. You are all aware on what condition you are supposed to shoot at the enemy. When your life is at stake and you have no other means of protecting yourself, you are allowed to fire. When your colleague's life is at stake and there's no way you can stop, you are allowed to fire. And when the community or any infrastructure you are protecting is being destroyed and you have no other means of stopping them, you are allowed to.
It's an appointment that places operational military experience directly at the policy level of national defense. At 58, General Christopher Musa steps into a new role, this time as Minister of Defense. His nomination was formally communicated by President Bola Tinubu in a letter to President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio.
We are not interested in looking at anybody's face. We are interested in what can assist the President and what can assist Nigerians to sleep well.
President Tinubu expressed confidence in General Musa's ability to further strengthen Nigeria's security architecture. General Musa's military journey began in Sokoto, where he was born in 1967. After completing his secondary education, he attended the College of Advanced Studies Zaria and was admitted into the Nigerian Defense Academy in 1986, graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in 1991. Over 3 decades, his career featured progressively strategic roles. General Staff Officer 1 for Training and Operations at Headquarters 81 Division, Commanding Officer 73 Battalion, and Assistant Director of Operational Requirements in Army Policy and Plans. By 2019, he was already deeply entrenched in operational command, serving as Deputy Chief of Staff, Training and Operations, Commander Sector 3 under Operation Lafayette Dole, and later Commander of the Multinational Joint Task Force in the Lake Chad Basin, where he oversaw joint military operations with Cameroon, Niger, Chad against Boko Haram and ISWAP militants.
What the terrorists were trying to do, they were trying to build a generation of fighters, of terrorists, which is dangerous. For us, they will have been more vicious than their fathers, because they will have grown up in an atmosphere of an environment of violence, and then they wouldn't know what it is to be compassionate. But we're happy they're out, and so many of them are coming out. So far, the Northeast is very, very peaceful. I think we are really very encouraged with what's happening, and it's due to a combined effort of everybody. It's not only the military, because what we realize is that what will bring this to a total end is both the kinetic and the non-kinetic. The non-kinetic plays about 25%, 75% of it is the non-kinetic aspect of it, and that's why I think we're getting also a lot of support from the state government, from the locals, because actually the terrorists survive within the locals. If the locals are with them, because if you see with this fight, is the fight of the hearts and mind of the communities. If the communities are with the terrorists, they will prosper. If they are with the military, then it will curtail what they can do. And so we're happy that the community, the locals are really, really giving us the best of support now. And that has actually assisted us. So we are in tune with the federal government, with the state government, with the local government, with the communities, with the opinion leaders. We have the ulamas, the imams, the pastors, the motor parks, the markets, anything that is happening anywhere within this area, we know. They give us information, and we have ability, with the equipment that we got, we have ability to respond. If it is far away, the aircrafts, the air component to respond. Now the Navy too is coming on stream. The MA is doing so well. They're opening the waterways, and very soon we'll be able, because I think that's one other aspect that is remaining for us to block. That's why we'll still be able to move in some few items from the other countries into Nigeria.
In 2021, General Musa was appointed Theater Commander of Operation Hadinkai, the nation's largest counter-terrorism operation. He later became commander of the Nigerian Army Infantry Corps before being elevated to the position of Chief of Defense Staff in 2023.
Well, the challenges we're facing is asymmetric warfare. You're dealing with non-state actors, people that you don't know. They live within the cities. So normally I don't get to bed till probably 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, trying to just follow up to ensure that all the theaters are operating on whatever information we're getting, because the citizens are really, really giving us a lot of information. The President gave us a mandate to ensure that we restore peace and tranquility within Nigeria, and to also ensure that our crude oil production too improves, and we're working on that. It's something that the challenge we're facing didn't start now. I had the privilege of being the theater commander Operation Hadinka in the Northeast for about 19 months. That actually also gave me a good understanding of what we are dealing with on ground, and that has helped a lot. Rallying around everybody, the troops, security forces, the citizens, everybody putting hands together to make sure that things work well.
As CDS, General Musa drove aggressive intelligence-led kinetic operations and strengthened synergy between the Army, Navy, Air Force, and other security agencies. Stakeholders frequently noted that General Musa's leadership style combined firmness with deep empathy for personnel, especially troops on the front lines.
Do not be afraid to take out any criminal or any enemy that is destroying or is doing any acts of killing. Is that clear? Yes, but like I've told you, the communities you are protecting must know that you are there to protect them, not to go there and infringe on their human rights. I'm going to hold every commander, from the sector commander to the company commander to the platoon commander to the section commanders responsible. If anything happens within your AOR and you do nothing, you will be court-martialed. That I guarantee you.
His management of internal security challenges, banditry, terrorism, oil theft, and militancy has earned recognition from both domestic and foreign partners, and throughout this period, he maintained constructive engagement with the media, balancing transparency and operational discretion.
The Shekau boys are having infighting, and they in between them, they are also fighting. So we have that is ongoing. This year the floods was much, so that also displaced a lot of them that they had to come out. So there were multiple of things that actually went against them that is actually making it easier. Then the Super Tucanos, the air components also doing their job, and then the ground force. For the first time, our operation during rainy season, normally during rainy season, the operations used to go very low. But this time around, we changed our strategies. we went on foot during the rainy season. So we were able to enter and surprise them because they felt that was the safest period for them. We never gave them any respite, so we took them out. Regards to surrendering, so many of them want to come out. Now, what the commanders are doing, before now they used to give them weapons to keep so that they can go for operations. But now, because when they give them these weapons, the people just quickly run out to come and surrender. The state government have made it possible that if you surrender an AK-47, you are given 200,000. There are monetary gains if you do that. So the boys are tired, and they are still discussing with their friends that have surrendered, and they have seen that they are living very well.
With his nomination as Minister of Defense, expectations rise. Supporters say his battlefield experience will now shape Nigeria's long-term defense planning and security reforms. He will immediately assume leadership of the Ministry of Defense and guide Nigeria's military and strategic security direction going forward. Sifon Asian, TVC News.
Well, I will be speaking with the counter-crime and counter-terrorism specialist Olatobosun Abolarinwa about what the appointment of retired General Christopher Musa means for Nigeria's defense policy. But that will be in a moment. Also coming up on TVC News at 7. Nigerians in diaspora acquisition launches startup challenge to harness creativity of Nigerians. That's after this break. Stay with us.
I, Senator Hope Uzodinma, CON, Governor of Imo State, on behalf of the government and the good people of Imo State, extend a warm invitation to our esteemed stakeholders, partners and friends, both within Nigeria and globally, to a landmark Imo Economic and Investment Summit 2025. This summit will bring together global leaders, investors and visionaries to unlock exponential growth across the key sectors of our burgeoning economy: oil and gas, energy, industries, agriculture and tourism. It is a crucial platform where transformative ideas meet strategic investment, where potential is catalyzed into prosperity, and where a new Imo is rising with confidence and purpose. Imo means business, and this is our defining moment. Join us at the Concord Boulevard, Owerri, on the 4th and 5th of December 2025 and be a part of Imo's greatest opportunity for investment, collaboration and long-term transformation. Together, let us build the Imo of our dreams. Imo Economic Summit 2025, Unlocking Imo's Economic Potential. Signed, Senator Hope Uzodinma, CON, Governor of Imo State.
Guys, food is ready.
Cook to impress.
Coleman wires and cable, great quality, now with the new look.
You're watching TVC News at 7. Here is a reminder of our top stories. Senate confirms former Chief of Defense Staff, retired General Christopher Musa, as Minister of Defense. National Economic Council approves 100 billion naira for rehabilitation of training institutions for security agencies across the country. Outside Nigeria, peace deals stalled as talks between U.S. officials and Russian president over control of Ukrainian territory ends in deadlock. In sports, more Premier League matches on the card tonight, and all eyes will be at the Emirates, where Arsenal host Brentford. A few hours ago, the Nigerian Senate confirmed retired General Christopher Musa, Nigeria's former Chief of Defense Staff, as the Minister of Defense. Joining me for more on that is countercrime and counter-terrorism specialist Olatunbosun Abolarinwa. Good to have you join us on TVC News at 7. General Musa has received... Yes, he has received resounding praise and support across board, even on the floor of the Senate during his screening earlier today. What are your expectations as he now steps into this role as Minister of Defense?
Well, in our field, we don't really boost or hype up our expectations. But like you earlier said, across board, it was widely accepted and celebrated. But being accepted and being celebrated does not necessarily mean success in the field, because the real work is out there on the field. All we have in him now is huge trust, hope, and belief that he will be a game changer. And on behalf of the whole of Nigeria, I hope and pray that that will be the case.
Huge trust, hope, and belief. But what do you consider the single biggest challenge he might be encountering on this mission?
Well, it can never be single. I will be able to put it in three different forms. The first one is the attitudinal change of Nigerians as a whole towards issues surrounding security. There is need for attitudinal change and drive towards attitudinal change. So we're expecting that. We're also expecting interagency cooperation. And we are also hoping that General Musa understands that being a military man is different from being a politician. So he's stepping out of the shoe of a military man now. He's stepping out into the shoe of politician, where government policy and government body language are going to dictate the tune of his performance. We hope he will remember what the challenge he met as a uniformed man, a fresher coming out of uniform into civilian environment. We hope he will be able to keep the same vigor, the same professionalism, the same zeal we saw in the last few months, now that he's stepping into the helm of affairs of that ministry. Many of us are very, very hopeful, but this is Nigeria, and we hope that, like a popular saying out there, may Nigeria not happen to his tenure as a Minister for Defense.
Well, during his screening, and maybe if I may just refer to that, we know we've heard the NOADG speak about the fact that when Nigeria happens to you, it shouldn't be in the negative. People should see Nigeria happening to them, in the positive. But let's talk about, some of the things that happened during General Musa's screening today. He did emphasize his zero tolerance for negotiations with bandits. How easy or difficult a task do you suppose it would be at a time when families and communities are having to resort to payment of ransom for release of kidnapped victims, and when there are concerns about victims themselves being used as human shield, for the bandits?
Yeah, those are two different things. You mentioned the issue about negotiation. Negotiation is part of counterterrorism initiatives. It all depends on the one person wearing the leadership cap. If you say you don't want to negotiate with terrorists, there are two things you are likely to be prepared for. One is collateral damages, and that is a very, very big one for that everybody believes that at one point or the other as a Nigerian, we need to come to terms with that reality. That if we want to stop negotiation, we should be prepared to undo the aftermath of collateral damages, which I hope we will not have a lot to deal with a lot of that. Secondly is the issue of operational capability. We need to boost the capacity. We need to do a lot of capacity building for those who are going to be at the battlefield. I'm talking about the boots on the ground, the tools they need to be able to carry out a successful operation against the enemy needs to be well provided for them. We shouldn't be talking about salaries. We shouldn't be talking about logistics. So money, just the way money has been released for rehabilitation of trading institutions today, which is also a coincidental success, we should start looking at bearing the full cost of operations. Operations are not cheap anywhere, especially in a terrain like Nigeria, where the cost of moving from one place to another, the cost of tracking, the cost of flying drones, the cost of moving weapons, the cost of welfare for those who are going to be in the field needs to be well taken care of. So if all those are in place, to be honest with you, I want to believe that we're going to have the type of success we are all looking forward to.
Counter-crime and terrorism specialist Olatunbo Swabolanyiwa, many thanks for your time on TVC News at 7.
Thank you very much for having me.
We're also talking security. The military community must treat General Christopher Musa's appointment